March 20, is it 24th today? 23rd. No one like a banshee.
Yes, the banshees are out that time of year. As to some of the best skiing ever this whole season. You may have stumbled onto the best day ever. And if you're an avalanche person, you're gonna love it. There's explosions. I'll try and point them out, but there are gonna be explosions throughout today's show. Because all this time has passed, like 20 days since the last show. I could have just decided, you know what, screw it, I'm not doing this anymore. But today, now, not only did I pull the tape recorder out, but I put it in a new pocket, so I have this nice crispy audio that we've been begging for. Just like the people were begging to be able to carry a portable recorder for years, decades, even centuries, millennias. And now here it is, in the pockets of our breasts, next to a radio that is going to be so noisy sometimes, only Avi lover people are going to love it. Because it's just instructions for blowing stuff up. Today's show, real quickly, I want to give you the broad coverage, geographic, I guess, of what we're going to cover. Because right now, the day is starting. It's begun. There's no public at the resort. We're starting out new. There's stretching in the background. We started this year, this sort of yoga stretching, real gentle sort of just body motion stretching. There are going to be a couple quiet lift rides, and you know, I just loves me a good quiet lift ride. And there's some things that might come up. I am going to try and talk about life and death. That's my goal. I'm setting out for that. But we meet this guy, Dougie Fresh, is what we ended up calling him. He's kind of a displaced software developer guy, and he's wonderful. He's just my favorite person I met all year. And then we'll ski some of the best powder days of the entire. Yep, that it's all powder.
Yeah, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Follow me.
That's Dougie. He's following me today.
Good, you got the drill. I can
like
be
a puppy.
I can be your puller. Have you drilled and done some silver load before?
I have.
So if I grab the signs and place them out, will that be helpful to you?
I will drill the crap out of them.
Drill them.
See, I
Like
love
there's
him
No
already.
tomorrow.
Holiday. This is where you're from.
That's right. That's right.
Boom. It was done.
That's where I stay up from. That's only to throw off the Googlers.
I'm just afraid somebody loses their pass because of an infraction that I write up, and they Google me, and
Fire in the hole, ladies.
I just, you know, I think you know that. They left me.
Oh, you've forgotten me. Oh,
They left me. I have to ride all alone on my first lift ride up payday.
That was. Just look away.
We stumbled on the finest and greatest powder day ever, and I want to just thank Vail Resorts for this already. Just it is going to be an epic day. And even though everything here is fictitious,
Fire in the hole. While we want.
totally made up.
Got the payday chair all alone this morning. Snowing. It's like there's a lake, slush on the ground. Still snowing. Today's gonna be a special day. We might have.
And they didn't show up. So I thought I might tell you that you should find out where Neil's Fudge was and find out where Bank C is near there. I already know it. The lift rate's quiet, so I don't know what the point is of. Well, I do later when we get into some topical stuff, but I want to start. If we're going to talk about life and death, let's get the life part out of the way. we are getting into a nice groove. All of the hard is the sadness is over. The tears, the rivers of tears are drying up. People, the miracles, things are actually really good. And that's all right. So I think I finally figured out a way to hack these spammers. And what they do is they call me throughout the day, all day, and interrupt things. And what I found is that you can call them back, and you can conference them together. Could repeatedly call them back 5 times and conference them all together, and then get them all on the line together, scratching their heads, wondering why all of a sudden they're talking to each other. There's some solutions that have arisen and some things that I want. Gosh, I really would like some help with. Like if there's somebody who can help me now bridge the gap between mothers who have breast milk, want to make some money, can show some papers, and people on the other side that aren't, guys who want to build their biceps. Equally, I want to find somebody who wants to help with some kind of a website that will help stop spam callers. Just put that whole thing. I got a great idea, but I just decided I don't want to go into a lot of detail about it on the show. There's some weirdness going on out there, and it has to do with these people that are anonymous. They're abusing a system, and it really is. It just hurts people. It really, really does. You can touch the little I button to the top right, and you'll see that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 calls, all going to area code 801-559-7947. Now I push the number 1. 2 cancels the call, and the rest of the numbers do nothing. 1 will get a person to answer each of those calls. I press the number 1, and all those calls are going to hear the number 1. So here come all our friends.
Thank you so much for holding. Good morning, my name is Jay, and I'm here to assist you with the listening. Am I speaking with the business owner?
Yes.
You're talking to somebody, dude. Hello?
Hello.
All right, so today's the day that I can get into all
May I
the
help you?
details,
Got somebody on the line.
cover decade
Yeah,
by
I'll get my
decade,
credit card.
year by year.
How much money do you need?
We will see.
How much money do you need?
I've tried to make improvements on the clarity here because I know it's bad. I had like this mask on my face, and that's what makes it sound like I'm, like slurring or something, or like I had this big mask on my face.
I wear it too in the studio. That's
had
why I
this
sound.
recorder in the other pocket. Now it's in the outer pocket, so hopefully we'll get some crispier audio. You can hear that radio better.
10-9 that location. Visa point. Central copies.
Okay, so now listen to this.
Thank you.
I mean, you gotta hear that. You're hearing those, right?
Oh yeah, we can hear that.
Sorry, could you tell me that?
And while it sounds
Thank you.
out there, like why are all of a sudden this show gonna start talking about telemarketers? And it doesn't sound germane to the show when what the show has is no opinion on outside issues. That's true. All these things are parts of a story, or decisions, an edit decision list that brought us to new places. What I can tell you is that we've just found out that my dog, his 6-month-old sister, is in the care of some people that have decided that the dog is worth more to them in money than in dog.
Ladies Knob in the south side of Bentonville. Sold out. We got at least a perfect crown here. Ran down into the trees and stopped in the trees.
the pictures of the dog are very disturbing, and
10-4, does it look like it?
anyway, but so things aren't great enough.
Getting to the top of payday here. We're gonna speed a bonanza, go up.
That, you know, the missus and I want to drive 2.5 hours out to these some crazy ranch that these people live on, throw down $600 and rescue this emaciated dog.
That's right, you are on the air. How did you know? You called a radio show.
Did you copy that?
So it's been an all-around sad day here at the where we have been doing all these episodes today, the Oak Ridge Country Club cloakroom, and they keep poking in here like, oh yeah, you're still here. Oh yeah, you know, episode 8, episode 9, almost done. And so they're all concerned about this dog. They're trying to find an owner right now, this second. Because what's been happening is that throughout the day, I have to take phone calls. And lately, the telemarketers are just winning. How much money do you guys make?
Oh my God. You're one of those people that have like an imaginary, you're just imagining things right now.
Even if it says to press, whatever to get off their list, that's a sucker bet. You just put yourself on a new list. You've communicated with them, and so now that you've got a relationship with them, they can talk to you now. It's like some sort of weird legal loophole that you just gotta be super careful of being.
You're just imagining things right now.
How do you even make money off of this?
Are you a guy or a girl? I'm confused.
I am so angry. Oh my God.
I'm not angry. I'm just curious why you're mean to other humans.
Are you a vegan?
No. What about you?
You sound like one. You're probably a tree hugger.
Really?
Aren't you?
That's not. Do you see how that's not nice to say to another person? How can you, really? Vegan? What's wrong with what somebody chooses to put in their body? So it's just like, how do we catch them? Because you don't know who's behind it. And so I talked to 2 people just today, victims. I don't like being. I don't want to call myself a victim. I'm sleuthing this, so I welcome. I welcome their contact with me.
Are you on like a podcast?
I like to communicate with people. Hello there. What are you selling? We'll have more conversations with these folks. We're going to meet this new friend, and if you have a feeling what that's like, there's some probing, and there's some things that maybe you'll hear about me that you've already heard, or whatever, but it'll be, I don't know, I don't want to say boring. I'll drop some music under it. Maybe it'll be a nice fresh way of resetting this whole thing and looking back at what we've, look at what we've done over 10 episodes of this show that would, otherwise just be a really long voicemail to somebody. To those student loan people. They won't call me back. Well, we'll get them on the phone. We got people to get on the phone. There's more things to do.
Central copies.
So, what's been on my mind lately has to do with this notion.
Central. North. Number Central.
When you lose somebody,
Ken and I are bound and close
you're trying to find them to death. Like when my dad died, it's just you're trying to find him. I'm trying to find him in the, in my heart, in my mind, in the ether. And, because everybody, he's, into a better place. Now.
Central copies.
And I don't know how much detail I can get into. Just roll their eyes.
Go for dispatch.
but I know.
And I'm going to roll my eyes and sum it up for you, because we don't want any eye rolling going on around here. There's a literal translation that I can sometimes take of things like, that Newton said, or some of the science, and because I'm not a physicist, I'm not even a theoretical lift writer. What I am is just a person that's trying to make up some scenarios or some models that are going to work with what I see around me. And in this case, it has to do with light and what we've been said about, told about energy. And Newton said and wrote and did and lectured a whole lot. But in the end, he gets summed up to some pretty simple concepts. And one of them is that you can't create or destroy energy. It is, and there it is. And we talked about communicating with eternity, and now we are on this path to better understand what that is that we're talking to, or with, or how, and all that stuff. Because energy, we're still trying to get our arms around it. But it's a nice start, this business of it's, that you can't destroy it. So if you lived in a world of light that was always light, that would be, I guess I'm trying to think, you could shade, you can put your stuff in front of somebody. You haven't destroyed anything, right? So there's just this wonder, like, okay, well, if there is a world of light and there is a world of darkness, which side are we on? I don't know. You just have to pick a side. And in this case, what's trying to be so eloquently described is the notion that that light doesn't really sort of travel at any kind of or accelerate to light speed. It just is. It just happens. Light speed. Light is. It doesn't speed up. Get up to light speed. It is. It's constant. And as if we were a dark world, and something causes it to tear and spill in to our world. And I think of it more as if this spot of originally mass, usually in our case, like when we have a filament in a light bulb or something like that, but nevertheless, something that usually maybe originated or, got things sort of going, gets to a certain point of energy that it has so much energy for the amount of mass that it is, that it's free to go. But you're no longer bound by anything here, because you have all the energy to escape velocity. It is not the correct term, but it would be if I knew what it was, to get the hell out. How fast do I need to go to be not the earth, its gravity?
Okay, top of Bonanza. We're gonna go set up some sun. Shit, yeah, bitches!
Free from all of this inertia from the original Big Bang. You're out there completely untethered. I think it's the guy dressed in the onesie, the American flag onesie, like Evel Knievel used to wear. Stupid sexy Flanders. Anyway, I don't want to lose you here, so at that point, when, you know what, you don't owe anything anymore to the gravity, to the inertia of the Big Bang, which is, as we know, again, literally, was at some point light speed.
Nice. Clear pow. On tilt of the snow. Very the eerie almost.
Another thing that Newton was talking about has caused it, changed our direction, we made it so that we weren't exactly going light speed anymore, but still super fast, right? It's like, you know, you're driving down the road and you throw your cat out. That's light.
These cats are going over this powder that I'm just living it up before they get to it.
God, I'm talking about cats and they're talking snow cats. Two kinds of cats. I was confused myself. Snow cats are going under me and they're trying to groom the beautiful run. The public is not. They have their lights on. They're flashing like emergency vehicles and pushing an ocean wave of snow in front of them and leaving these beautiful corduroy ribbons behind them. That's just the last piece of this theory of light, where from that point of singularity, the Big Bang, we are spinning every which way but loose. And when that electron jumps, orbits, or just goes bye-bye, we see it in infinite directions when it tears into the very spot where it happened. For me, there just has to be an explanation for light. And I know that there's some explanations out there, but ones that that are palatable for me, because they've started to get too weird and too uncertain, if you know what I mean. And I just don't want to care about all of that stuff. I want to know why it's doing that. Why is that phenomenon happening, and why didn't it ramp up, and why is it all this just sudden, just there? And the literal translation of everything is just fine, because I'm not in any violation of anybody's of what they've said that I understand. In my understanding, I'm sure some people are going to be like, well, Einstein's gravitrons might be whatever, man. I'm not down with gravitrons. Down with Ski and Pow right now. Some of the best. Listen to that. You can't tell. It's actually kind of annoying to hear. But it really was unbelievable to stumble on. One of those days we got so lucky, and that's what we're there to ski for. Trust me, we're doing a lot of work here in this first hour before the public gets on the hill. We're real busy. And that's just the stuff we talk about on the ski lift. But the reason why it all came up is that if then our thoughts, we don't see it. It's one of those things sort of hidden from us. But if our thoughts and everything are happening in light, then there might be a glimmer of hope for a conscious being to have a communication channel, a massless one, which is necessary for this journey to this world that's made of light. As if, folks, not saying that Newton's sitting right here with me doing the math.
Have you shot anything up high, or like come that way, working my way back? Starting around now, fire in the hole.
He had their struggles. All those guys. Newton couldn't say a whole lot because, gosh, he wasn't so sure that this Jesus thing was really the way to go because of the whole love just only one God. He had some ideas. He looked at the Bible more carefully than any one of us, any 12 Bible groups that you want to pick apart in town. That's all he did. He didn't go out on dates and impress the ladies with his stuff. He would bore people with his lectures, go home, and just figure out when the end of the world was. It had to be in there. And he took a pretty good guess. He didn't say he said it could only really occur after, X amount of date. And I'll be like 90 or 92. Pretty good guess. He said it wouldn't occur until after then. And people before him were afraid of getting their head chopped off. So it's more likely that we don't actually, we've been, the truth has been shrouded. It's been disguised or obfuscated by other red herrings and pigs and cosmos-sized pokes. But I love Sir Isaac Newton's spirit. He was looking for God first. He probably just calculated, you know what he probably ultimately calculated? Just how long it was going to take for humanity to catch up to how smart he was. He came up with 2060. And he knew that when humanity did, they would start giving up on religion and there would be chaos. And that's probably why he said, anytime after 2060, you guys start looking for another planet. To me, it sounds quite far-fetched. And then when you got two competing theories and they're completely different, but they're both super smart people, and you got the string theory guy over here, and you've got the fractal guy over there. Good Lord.
Laura Lee and myself starting our route.
I'm definitely way more fractal than string, if you want to know that. I mean, fractal's where it's at, y'all. Benoit Mandelbrot. And if you look up the very smartest man living right now in the world, they seem to be these guys with their brain connected to the eternal. And it's all sort of light-based.
Ducky Fresh! I'm like, you gotta catch up. We need to do this before it gets skied out. Huh? Yeah, real fun. Yeah, we want to get this assessment. I bet it's sweet right now.
Right?
Yeah.
You want to ski it?
Oh, yeah. I want to get these signs in. And yeah, dude.
Patrol,
Yeah, just this is your sign. Yeah, make it look good. There will be more.
All right. So if that's all palatable, or at least understandable, you're not lost on any of these details, then in this whole possibility can exist this possibility that our energy is continuously recycled and has been for the longest time. Eternally, forever, as far as we can tell. As far as we can fathom what the energy that makes us up. The question is like when we lose our shell, our human shell, does all that energy sort of stay as the same energy that left you at that time, and then it goes and gets reincarnated, or as the same group, or is it dispersed as you would more expect it to be, as heat, and then just become dispersed? But with all this in place, I have this thought, and maybe I've already put it in the show, but
It's when you can tell that the two patrollers have had an affair. Those are the best ones.
right, so all the people on the train or all the people on the plane that perished, billions of years later, their energy that say souls have, collectively climbed the ladder to become human beings on an airplane again.
Looks nice.
Damn it. That's the whole idea, that my soul is a self-contained packet that, weighs about 21 grams. Now, here's, some of the things that would, some people are buried, and a lot of that sort of energy of a person is all just sort of nestled within their bones and their body and things like that. And some people are still decomposing. They're still E equals MC squared amount of energy just nestled into all these dead people out there. So no, their energy hasn't done. It's still there. And so Grandpa, who died in whenever 1918 something, is still, all of his energy still hasn't even dispersed, right? He's the speed of light times itself times 100 pounds. That's a lot of Grandpa still left. A lot of people have posited that this idea of the soul, or that there's this core central energy that we call our soul, or things like that, that accounts for this tiny fraction of energy that disappears when people die. And, you know, you've heard some of that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, there it is. Let's say that's the thing. Let's say that, yep, they sent their best crew in there and said, yeah, there is. There's this tiny discrepancy of this sort of energy that, you know, it's just first to get the hell out when things go bad. And sure, you know, that there's other things still, but, you know, when you're gone, you're gone. And as soon as it flatlines, this, you know, like, wow, we just lost like 21 grams. Instantly gone. Tired of carrying around all those wasted grams? Try this new 21 gram weight loss program. It works, because you died. Something we have with us at all the time, because how can it just leave us at any given time if we don't have it with us at all the time? And so if it is with us all the time in our little sort of...
It was raining there too, though, yesterday, so...
Can we talk to it?
It's much different.
Can we say hello? Hello. What are your plans today? What would you like me to do? Any special instructions for the big day ahead? My little 21 gram soul brother?
Current time is 8:35, unless they're waiting maintenance clearance car. Iron Mountain, Sweet Tea, Daybreak, Magic Carpet, Silver Star.
There's something that rings true to us about this idea that there would be something outside, above, or bigger that would care.
Silver dispatch.
Because it's also beautiful and also complex.
I get temporary caught on the Jupiter list.
And we know that nature is doing its thing all around us.
Copy, caught on Jupiter, stand by.
We see it happening. We look into the eyes of babies.
Upper triangle of Rhino.
There's just no question that there is a force of creation that's happening, that life finds a way in some of the craziest places. And it's still hard for me to wrap my head around that things have had to live for 100,000 humanoid type things, and then before them, non-humanoid things for millions of years. One by one, parent-child, parent-child. There have been parent-child relationships. How can anybody throw that away now? And I want to be super sensitive to people who can't or don't want or have made the decision. But it's not a chain I want to break. If there's anything that I can do about it,
Yeah.
it's just not one of the things that I want to, my own personal thing. I know that there's obviously people who share different feelings, but it's just too big of a mind blow for me to imagine
He hasn't been beat up enough.
that my hands were crab's hands. Really, not just in horoscopes. So I'm grasping. I want to have this contact to somebody through light. Now that I know that Dad's energy has been, you know, for the most part, simultaneously bursted out into the cosmos.
From the get, you know. I mean, I'm here early. That's not really very fair. You know, taking the. Yeah. There's a delicate balance, you know. We're given the ultimate in privileged skiing, but we have to pretend all day that we're not. His whole life, all of his memories, all of his ideas, they're all light somewhere in the eternal. That's what I think. The literal translation. If energy can't be destroyed, then where is the energy from Dad?
now. Heat, you guys want to just stop there? Heat, oh good, great. Call an HAVC guy on this and be done? No, come on. We can sniff this one out. Especially if energy has, oh, it's so nice, you guys. You're just gonna have to wait until this is a virtual reality experience. And it could be as early as next season. I'm looking for the technology to turn this whole show into virtual reality. You'll see my lips puckering for that whistle solo. It was a very short whistle solo, but nevertheless. It's possible to have all those photons imprinted with his memories like a projection. Is that desperate? Is that, yeah, it's all of those things, folks. Is it uneducated? Is it all that? It is, but what it isn't is wrong to me. It feels right. It answers all the questions that I have. It has some, summations that some of the great minds, under the duress sometimes, they'd just put it in a box. Tell us what the hell it is. And, if you say we're all going around the sun, that box is also going to have your head in it. So pick your box wisely.
Under the stars, under the sands, under the code that binds his hand.
Galileo, he was more, the box is going to be the prison or house that you have solitary confinement, or basically you live the rest of your life with us keeping an eye on you in your later years. If you say that, and he couldn't help but say, your days are done, guys. You're behind the times, you're short-sighted, and the church is wrong. And I've got pictures that I drew. How hard would that be to try and explain to people to come over to your house and look through this tube? If you look through this tube, you'll be able to see what is a planet, and that will prove to you that we're all spinning around the sun and the church is wrong. Yeah, you think Sam Young had it bad when he's got YouTube and videos and Facebooks and Discover cards? God, this guy was like, no, he knew, he just knew it. In his fabric of his being, and just didn't even care at some point if people like persecuted him for it, because he knew that he was going to die, and he was never a question in his mind about a creator or a god or anything like that, especially at that time. People you just didn't.
Right? Is it worth the dismissal? Maybe do Prelude. That's the one to do. Prelude is probably not through, right?
Your method.
Yeah. Oh, this isn't even my method. I have a whole method that I do secretly with Helen Graham.
We're planting signs. You know, it works better, but the powers that be don't use that method when I'm around. It's more effective. It measures. It's more scientific. It's maybe more closely like what we were talking about.
Yeah, I do. And like if someone
Working smart.
like if someone drills or pulls for me, I'm just like, lay it flat. Lay it as flat.
Even though
down
I
as you
have,
can.
I guess,
And like if I have to, I'll use
a
the
fourth
drill,
or some
like this,
fraction
to
of my
hold
dad's
it flat.
final ashes, which was a strange
Pull the
thing to
side, pull it out
receive
like a bed sheet.
when, you know, his wife handed me this thing and said, and here, these are your dad's ashes, as she was handing them to me, and I just didn't, that was so weird to me. And then in my reaction to her became weird because she could see that I didn't plan. I had a reaction, a natural reaction that was beyond my executive function to control. But I took it and set it aside, and I planned to throw it in the firebox of the 479 locomotive on it's either Cumbres to Toltec or they got it up to Durango. And at some crossing where they always blow the whistle, I'm just going to have them. Or I'll do it in the 618 if they get that thing up next year. Well, I'm still alive, I guess. So that it does come full circle. And the 618 is the best choice because it's a locomotive that my dad, rescued from being buried in the ground. It's been restored and has been the centerpiece of a tourist railroad that's been in and out of business since the 70s, since I was born. And they've even switched it over now, I understand, to an oil burner, but maybe they'll let me dump his ashes in there because it wouldn't be possible, that locomotive,
Because money, I guess.
were it not for my dad. If you know the whole story, and there's so many people that want to tell me differently, but it's just that he found
too
it.
close to the sun. They want to be lead. They want to be bigger. They want to make changes. They want to do T-shirts. What if we put sign here? They want to make all these, and they find out.
Yeah, then just let it go. It works itself out. So he prevented this locomotive. They were going to bury this locomotive in the ground. And he said, it was his client at the time. It was just him and this guy in this room. He said, don't bury that locomotive. I know some people that will want it. And they did, and he got them down there. And, you know, it's like this, my dog's sister. I'm trying to get some people, you know, to go get this dog before these people do something more stupid.
I was a counselor, you know, a youth person.
Okay.
In bands and more extracurricular.
I see.
We went to Africa together. We went to all these different trips. We'd go on, you know, trips, adult and youth trips, or ministry trips and that kind of thing.
You have patrol coverage for Payday
I'm not.
County.
I don't want you to think I'm religious. Don't think I'm a Bible. I'm anything other than just that's was part of my life.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, are you LDS?
It's not an LDS. It was not an LDS. It was actually for a little Lutheran church.
Gotcha.
You have patrol coverage for the...
Just so you know, my mom's a Methodist minister.
Good.
And,
I might know her.
And we've been on humanitarian efforts. I'm personally not religious, but I certainly don't mind going to Belize and, helping go.
Hell yeah. But she's not here. Where is she?
She's in Colorado.
Oh, Colorado. I was going to say.
There's 2 or 3.
All the Methodists, what I know, and she must not be here. So that's good, though. So
There's not too many to know. I'm not being...
This city, this town is becoming increasingly weird religiously.
Anything other than, look, I can only think 2 or 3.
Well, I grew up here, and so I had friends telling me that, they were better than me, they were going to better places, they're going to get their own planet. They're just, lesser Jesuses, but, they're going to be... And guys like me and Mother Teresa, we're all just sort of going to be in the lower sort of lobby of heaven.
Right.
And we grew up with that, and they have church on the high school campuses and junior high school, so all of my friends, 90% of them anyway, would be sort of midday, doing that same sort of propaganda machine. Hey, we're all going to this place where special people go, and you're not, so bye, we'll see you out. You can come if you want, that sort of thing.
Right.
It takes its toll. I did not realize, but my wife's brother is here, and he moved his family away because he can't put up with it. I think my sister's the same way.
I've been here 10 years, and when we first moved here, grew up in Colorado, went to Southern California, came here to help a buddy start a software company, and for the first 6 months, I was like, telling my wife, I'm like, babe, we gotta go. This place is just too weird, too conservative. I can't do it. Let's go to Denver.
Yeah.
But slowly and surely, we ended up moving up here, and I still work with a lot of those guys, but it kind of dissipates. But I still do get really aggravated. It's like this. You know what I consider it? It's like waterboarding. It's like this constant tapping on you.
Yeah.
It's constant. It's like a slight pressure.
It is.
It's not heavy. It's just a slight pressure on you, just pushing you down.
That's true. It's just like it's what mammals do. Dogs do that. They just can I just go a little bit more? Can I go a little more? Can I get dinner a little earlier? Won't you come to this thing? Just come to this basketball game. We're gonna just play a quick game. Why don't you come to a scouting event?
Right.
Which one? Which one's it gonna be?
Hey, what should I do with the drill?
Look at this. Oh, plant it. Don't ski with it.
Okay.
Hide it.
We're practically alone at this resort. Nobody's around. All fresh snow.
Somewhere, and let's just do a quick run, and no one will ever know. I feel like I'm being a bad example, but not. I'm being a good example.
You can see he's just a wonderful, great guy.
That's fine. No one's gonna. I hope that
mogul professional skier, competitive mogul skier.
Right? All right. Oh, those groomers missed it.
Quicksilver gondola is secure.
Our boy Brigham Young, the most industrious person I've ever known, and still banging 14-year-olds and got everything that he could done. And he had this thing where you'd work 8 hours, you'd play for 8 hours, and you would sleep 8 hours.
Current time is 8:53 and 8 a.m. now.
It's the only working theory that works for me, and to know that my memories and everything I've ever seen or done was recorded into light, this non-destructive medium. It went off into some world called light, and it's organized chronologically, I suppose. At least it's, I delivered it to those specs.
Here we go.
And it's eternal. Best run of the year. Easily happening. It doesn't make for great audio, so I try and explain that when an ice skater skates a routine, a really Olympic, hopeful, gold winning figure skater does one of those routines. And the amount of pressure, the unimaginable amount of pressure in all different areas that has been slowly placed on this skater, and I often think of it as a woman or a girl, since she was entered into this world, is quite often all that pressure is all on the tip or on that edge. And I know that might sound even a little cliche, but it absolutely is. And in that moment, her brain is so fired up across all sections, all areas, I could only imagine. Her whole body, it is an entire human experience, even though it is all... And that skiing was as close as I'll get.
Yeah, we're not expected to be done till at least 9.
Guitar solos, that's as close as I'll get.
Yeah. I think we need to catch
Babies crying. Their whole brain has got to be lit up and telling that other world. Ah! All right, good sex, right? A good swing. That place between sleep and not sleep.
Oh, it's straight down the middle.
When you get lost in somebody's eyes, or so synced up with somebody that you've lost.
And I didn't even mince words with Todd.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I'm in between jobs. I'd love to be up here. I'll be good.
Let's hear from Dougie.
Yep, you're me.
You know,
Hear me. That was the same thing.
Todd is our
I'm not
boss.
going to say that I'm not going to go. You know, I'm not here for the scan.
Yeah.
He somehow got this job and said, "Look, man, all I'm here to do is ski."
To race bumps
Yeah.
competitively. So,
Wow.
There he is.
Yeah,
Skied bumps competitively.
Pro Bump Tour 1990.
Jesus.
I got a good story for you. So, you know, I mean, I grew up in Colorado. I ski bumps just, you know, competitively, but on my own.
Yeah.
Right? No coaches or anything like that. And kind of got to the point where I won a couple events, you know, just local stuff. So I was able to, you know,
I'm
buy my
already like,
bib
he's my
and do
hero.
the Pro Mogul Tour. You know, so it's
Pro Mogul Tour.
And the blue course, you know, with the drums at the bottom. Yeah. And it was
These
right
people
when the
are-
Olympics were just like Johnny Mosley was coming out, and bumps became an Olympic sport.
They're superheroes to me.
Top of international. And I thought I had arrived, you know, like I was here, I had my bib.
You have it right. That is a big milestone. Come on.
So I was going against this guy named Scott Gardner. And Scott Gardner was, oh God, dude. Scott Gardner was an alternate on the US team. Okay? So I'm standing up there and I look over at him and I'm like, hey man, good luck. I'm like 19. And he looks slowly over at me and goes, hey, whoever you are, fuck off.
Oh, man.
Chick chick, and then just destroyed me.
Right?
Beat me before I even made a single turn. And that was basically it for me as far as competition goes, because I carry too much empathy, to be honest with you.
You are me.
I
Yeah.
can't, you know, I don't have that edge, and so it was, I kind of had an epiphany right there. I was like, you know what? If I continue down this road, I will stop loving skiing, and it's the one thing in my life. So.
Right. Plus the other thing, at least for me anyway, is practicing competitiveness for me is a bad idea. It's just being competitive in this world, at least for me, can just get to be...
Yeah, but I'm exactly the same way. I work in software, right? And I was working for this company that's based out of Manhattan. And it's interesting because, you know, my work is just as good as theirs in, you know, the middle of New York City. But they have a drive and a level of success and I don't know, a very selfish self-fulfillment wish that I don't own. Right? You know, but competitive is exactly it. Every day they were coming in just chomping at the bit.
And it's fuck you competitive. Like, if you can't, you know, like, fuck you, man. Everybody has got that sort of... And with this job, it's a great example. We say, slow down. They say, fuck you. Who are you to tell me to slow down? I'm speeding up. Like, I'm not. Who are you to think that you have the privilege to tell me to slow down? And that's like the...
That's the perception of the Yellow Jackets, too.
That's the basis of mammals on the earth these days. And so if you don't just ask somebody, just write, hey Bob, I'm gonna bring those briefs to you later today and then we'll have that meeting, okay? If you go that way, you're fine. Hey Bob, since you weren't there yesterday, I'm just gonna have that meeting later.
We went ahead and did this in your absence. I hope that's okay.
You know,
and
fuck you, Bob! It's just everything's got this little bit of fuck. Hey, Todd, I made this video for our thing, this dinner. I think it'll be a lot of fun. What do you think? I think maybe we'll just play that at the morning meeting. We don't have time.
He did. He loved it. He watched the video and he ended up loving the video. We wanted to play it at the end of the year thing, which is where what ended up happening is they couldn't figure out how to play a video. The year before, we held the party somewhere different.
Don't do it. Don't, because they'll just give you right back, fuck you. And like, so, you know, and I give it, hey man, I do it too. We're all humans, we're all, you know, and sometimes I find, I mean, I find myself, you know, at my wit's end and I'll.
Because.
I'm getting better. I just walked away. It's what you do. It's taken a lifetime to learn that, but it's what you do. All right, what are we going to do? Assessment. Yeah, we have to test its overall safety quotient. Oh, damn that drill.
Should I grab it?
No, it's fine. Well,
you can see what a wonderful guy Doug is and how much I just wanted to just let you just meet. It's the balance,
you know, it's the balance. You know, we need to give these guys free lunch. We need to give them a free pass. But let's only give them a half an hour and tell them that they can only ski, because next year we may not even be able to ski stuff like this.
Right. I'm gonna get the book here in a couple of days. If they even invite me back. Like, I will send this to Dougie and have him listen to it. And after he said, yeah, this is this part that I'm saying this right now in the show, well, I'll take it out. So this is my canary as to whether I've talked to Dougie Fresh about this. He might be hard to get a hold of. He might say, what the hell, and I might not do it. But I should do it. That's what I'm doing. It's my canary. He might say, we got to take out the canary. Now he for sure will. Which is the same thing as the thing that I was trying to tell you about with my dad. I didn't finish the story, did I? Not completely. That it completes it then, doesn't it? Because his life and him living created the 618, and then, you know, in his death, his very ashes, putting a fire into the engine that only he could have, but only that fire could only exist, you know, because of his death. See how much more we can get a Jimbo out in the ether. We're gonna burn those ashes right when she crosses Charleston or something, or we'll go down to Durango, grab one of those great locomotives. The 479 is a special one. right when they blow the whistle. We'll drop the whole load, Pops. I love you. We'll make his light shine as bright as it possibly can. And I'm gonna keep on trying to find you in every ski run.
That was heaven. That was nice.
Every guitar solo. Until we meet again. I don't know how else to put it. That's that thin line that we want to be there just long enough to.
It's like we're our own roller coaster.
Talking about being on an untracked run.
Right, isn't it?
Kind of fun skiing without poles, but I do like poles.
I know. I don't know how you're doing. Because I
Like being awake in a dream and being able to control even some of the actual.
Yeah, and then when you don't, you ski a lot without poles in this job, and all of a sudden your hips start becoming
Tactile parts of
ruins your,
the
I think.
dream, and
Yeah.
you're there, and you know
Right.
you're there.
Plus, you get
Now
hurt.
I know that,
mean,
that this
you know,
this might be my
the
this is my
injuries
theory,
on
and
the
this
hill.
might be my chance to
Well, I
kind of
don't
look
know.
around and see if I can see anybody else
Anyway, the
or
biggest
see
similarity-
or
I
feel
don't
my
know
way
if I see it,
around.
but-
There's you can't see
And I haven't-
anything. There's no.
I don't say a lot about it, but my
but you can
industry-
tell that you're somewhere.
Well, I rose pretty high
Else,
for Utah
right?
in the TV industry. Anyway, to do broadcasts for Nat Geo, History Channel, that kind of stuff is way higher than. What, that does sound familiar, though. Kerwin sounds super familiar. And so when that work ran out, and then I kind of got spilled into fundraising, you know, the next step is really porn. But thank you. The timing was just slightly off with my porn joke.
Wow.
Was
Depending on where you were sitting,
and
right? There's a way
you know,
that
I'm like,
that
well, I'm just
timing
gonna,
would have
you
worked
know, I'm
out.
just gonna ski and I'm gonna get some work. And I gotta tell you, I don't know what happened, but I have not been able to get other work at all. I can't even get people to write back. It's been like, oh my God. And, you know, for me, it's like, these are jobs like Facebooker, you know, making videos for some
Shit that you're way overqualified for.
and they see it, and so they don't want. And I'm like, well, why? You're gonna pay me the same,
Right.
you know, as
would
the other.
you want-
Why would you want some Jackie,
I'm running into the exact same thing, man.
you know, who's just gonna be like 2 years and knows some stuff but doesn't know how to process it, you know, get it online, make sure it's compressed properly, there's no mistakes. Who knows? So, and I'm pretty. I have a lot of, you know, places where I can, you know, be.
Where you can sit it.
Not finding it, not at all, and it's like getting super spooky, super scary
So how long you been looking?
since 2015.
Yeah.
I've had 2 other jobs since. One was a startup, and it was a multi-level startup, and I was. Alrighty.
We've got Leif on the phone from Human Capital,
Okay.
so you're aware that that's why the phone's lit up there.
Can you hear us?
Hi.
Alright,
What's happening?
So we're just gonna get to it here. So, like, Gib, we've determined that your performance and your behavior does not meet our expectations.
I was not a good fit.
Gotcha.
They have those here. And then another one was for Tesla, and I was super excited to work for Tesla. But I was working for a department that was not Tesla. We were not allowed to say the word Tesla or even say that we were with Tesla.
Okay, you know what? Turn over your equipment to Amy. You are suspended until I get with HR.
That became problematic. because I wanted to work for Tesla.
You think it's ageism?
I don't know. Those were both. Well, no. The one job for the startup was perfect. It paid super well. It was the nicest office I had ever had. They're out of business, by the way, 2 months later after I was exited, maybe even less.
That's why they have such a nice office.
Yeah, super nice. Oh God, I love that office. And I got to pick. It was my dream job, but my everything else was not the dream job because they just didn't know what they want. I don't know what was going. I think I was a pawn in some sort of weird game. Is really, if I were to look back and tell you. You know, and so I'm like, guys, really, next year if I'm coming back to this thing, there's problems, you know. But I've asked Todd, I said, Todd, I've had perfect attendance last year, and now this year I have perfect attendance. And I think that that's what employers are looking for. I need everything I can get. Can I ask you to write me a letter that, you know, as my employer?
Just endorse you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, or some, I'm not on LinkedIn, which is, I know, Death. I know there's one of the reasons why, but no, I can't.
Facebook,
I can't bring myself to LinkedIn because it's not just LinkedIn. I know that the day that I do LinkedIn, I think that things are going to start happening, but no, then I have to play the LinkedIn game and all that stuff, and I can't even bring myself
my wife tells me to turn it off because it's just such like fucking 30-year-old MBA from BYU. You know, my life has been so difficult, and somehow I've been able to build this company from bootstraps up. It's like
what? Evs. Yeah, I'm grateful. I love this. I'm the same way as, you know, I want to just ski, and I'm a cheap son of a bitch, and this is the only way if I want to ski, because I cannot afford to pay $140 for anything. Anything. Like, and brake shoes maybe, so that I can earn money, but, you know, I got a bill yesterday for my car. It's illegal right now. It can't become legal until $1,500 posed.
It was a miracle how that got fixed. It became a $1,500 problem that.
She's doing well. She is doing awesome. But we don't share finances, and I don't even.
Okay.
She doesn't even know what my life is like. We've been married a long time too. It just works better.
You guys always done finances.
Technician essentially looked the other way when I forced them to stay open when they were trying to close. I forced them to stay open.
Great times, don't get me wrong.
And just check it off.
But even if all of a sudden I hit the lottery,
it was a communication victory.
I'm not meant to have money in this world. Are we not doing anything?
Don't care what your lights say. Care what anything says.
What time is it?
My car says it's fine. There's no check engine. There's nothing preventing me. I don't need to pay $1,500. There's no check engine light on. I've been up and down the canyon. Clear me. Don't make me pay $1,500, maybe $2,000 by the time they're done.
Plant that bitch.
To make my car legal when I go up and down this canyon every single day for this job, and you'll get busted, your car gets impounded, and then they're not nice about that. You have to pay a bunch of money every day. You're paying rent for it to be there, and I guess eventually.
Yeah, I was like, how come I'm doing such quick turns on this hill? And on assessment, I tried big GSs, but those.
But I know, because as soon as I left that place, the check engine light came back on.
That poor drill. Yeah, Harley, coming to get you again, buddy.
So what happens is that now I will real quickly tell you that we're at the end of this segment. Probably even a little more overtime than we wanted to be today. But exactly where this particular show needs to end. So goodbye, so long, farewell, take care. Hope you have a good time. Hope you do something with that hair. Goodbye, so long, take care, stay true, and remember, I love you. Yes. Yes, I do. That's our show. And they're getting just a tiny bit better every time, a little bit deeper. Hotroll is a show about a life story, but yet is purely fictitious. So many characters, places, or events are completely fictitious, made up, or otherwise didn't happen. None of these people exist.
I'm sorry about the zipping.
There's been so much editing to reality here. It is really, it's not even really reality. So the ultimate question is it really what it really was? Just like the question about herself. If every cell has changed over these years.
Are you on like a podcast right now?
No, that's 3.
That's